I don't know where I'm going with all of this, but over the years, I've come to respect people like that a hell of a lot more than spineless individuals in suits and with bodyguards and flags behind them saying, we have to stand together in the face of terrorism when they're the ones doing it to us. Smart, it's the incorrect spelling. It's actually EVIL is the correct spelling of these screens. Who controls the thing that you see on that screen? I ask you, where does it come from? I'm not saying close your eyes. I'm saying open your eyes, see it for what it is. It is propaganda. Most of it is an illusion. We're being told this life is horrible. It's full of violence, racism, wars, starvation, whatever. Look out through the window. I can almost guarantee you, in whatever country you're in, nature is beautiful. But the thing is, there is this beautiful word called no. It's a magical word, actually, because if somebody says, do that, and you know in your heart that it's wrong, if you say no, it's completely non-violent. It's just like, that is not going to happen.
Right, I am so delighted to welcome back to the Live, Love, Learn podcast a return guest, the amazing Ole Dammegard. I love your truth seeker, code breaker, peacemaker, which sums you up perfectly. How are you doing, Ole?
Doing absolutely great. As they say here in Bali, mantap, mantap.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, most of my audience know your work very well, and I always am very aware of the messages I get, Ollie, from people and sort of reading the room in terms of where people are at and how, when I'm interviewing people like you, we can best help people on their journey as well as sharing what we've been up to. And one of the things I'm really seeing at the moment is probably the accumulation of the last 5 years and more, but let's, talk about the post-COVID years, the pandemic years. People are in a state of fear and not knowing who to trust and not knowing who to believe because it's getting so difficult now with AI, with, so many different social media platforms sharing things where there's no research often behind it. So you're the expert in research. This is what you do probably better than everyone else. How do you see where we're at with that, or where the general public are at? And what are some of your words of wisdom from what you've been through?
Well. I've been down this rabbit hole for some 45 years now. So I've been around the block for a few terms. And I tell you, it's been like, I think that on a soul level, I don't know, I can't remember, but somehow I signed up to do this journey. Not the easiest one, but I mean, who can say no to a sort of like a, what do you call it, a package deal with everything, including romance, traumas, sexual abuse, mental abuse, depression, happiness. Who can say no to that? So apparently I signed up for that. And I've been down this rabbit hole as a very confused individual for many, many years, getting less and less confused, but still, like my mother said before she died, still confused, but on a higher level.
Yeah.
So that's me. And I follow in her footsteps when it comes to that. So for all of these years, I've been feeling that I had this inner drive. There's never been, even though I've been shot, almost hit by cars, I've been poisoned, I've been threatened. I don't know. It's I've never sort of bent over. I never said, and this is not because I'm super courageous. I mean, I've been more scared than most, I think. It's just that I've just know this is my way. This, even if it's shit scary, there was no option for me. It hasn't, and it's been my family has paid a high price, with we've lost people. We had people murdered around me. We changed countries twice. We started from scratch. We moved, I think, 20 times in total, something like that. So it's come with a price tag. And also, well, right now I'm facing up to 18 years in prison in Sweden, I've been told, if I return. I mean, I don't step on ants. I don't kick dogs. I never said a racist word that, as far as I know, I'm not into politics. So you have to sort of wonder, like, what on earth is going on? Peace Award, I've been given that. I've been adopted by the Apache Nation, and I face 18 years in prison for doing the exact same thing. Hello, welcome to the world of Monty Python. But anyway, so the thing that got me started was in 1980, and when it was the first time I saw the so-called Zapruder film, where you see how Kennedy is, this poor dude is lured into an ambush, multiple shooters, and the final headshot just blows his head off. Awful, awful. But what I saw, and I mean, I just came from a very, what can I say, simple background, but like 1 + 1 = 2. That's the way sort of I've seen the world. And so when I saw that his head was thrown backwards and to the left, I knew for sure the shooter must have been standing to the front and to the right. I mean, it's just plain physics. I throw a stone at you, you will go that direction. But the official narrative said no, the shooter was behind a tree up 6th floor in a book depository. And it was just like, so it took me like 20, maybe 20 odd seconds to figure out that's just not true. And it's taken me 44 years to come to the real truth. I've really done my utmost to get to the bottom of that and many, many, many other cases as well. And so at the end of last year, I actually interviewed the guy that fired the shot from the grassy knoll. I've been aware of him and supported him stepping forward with the truth since the late 90s. And anyway, so it came sort of like almost like a full circle feeling, where the thing that started me, and then I ended up helping him, which is so weird, because this is a man he's part of the death of about 1,000 people. But he was born into a program for assassins.
Yeah.
So he's never gone to a normal school. From day one, his mother signed up for this. She had no money back in Alabama in the 40s, and so she signed up for this thing where she was inseminated with, I'm sure, some Aryan-looking dude, super soldier type. And she gave birth to this child who was taken away right away from her. And then everything he was trained in from day one of these German scientists, and so from Operation Paperclip in the US, was death. And so he was both a hitman for the mob and for the government and the CIA and all kinds of stuff all over the world. But anyway, I don't know where I'm going with all of this, but over the years, I've come to respect people like that a hell of a lot more than spineless individuals in suits and with bodyguards and flags behind them saying, we have to stand together in the face of terrorism, when they're the ones doing it to us.
Yeah.
Because there's this code of honor among these so-called bad men. And I mean, I am not defending his actions at all. Despicable, horrendous, horrendous, horrendous. And at the same time, to stand up from where he came, from a high security prison, with no gain for himself at all, to step forward with the truth, knowing that he would be taken out like this.
Yeah.
But it was he actually had like, Jesus came to his cell twice and said, listen, James, his name is James Files, this doesn't work anymore. You have a new task. You have to stop with your old life. This is your new task. And which he did. He has done. He's been standing up so courageously for all of these years, backed by his wife, Pamela. So anyway, so it came to an end, and suddenly it was almost New Year's Eve last year. I was so exhausted, and I was almost like crawling across the finishing line of a multiple triathlon race that I didn't know that I signed up for. And suddenly I just felt, it's done.
Yeah.
There was no, just the thought of another interview. I mean, I've been interviewed more than 1,300 times, and I've been happy to do it, never been paid for it, happy to do it, feeling empowered afterwards, feeling useful. And after that, just the thought of it was just, I can't take it. And so after that, we were invited to South Africa, of all incredibly beautiful places, where I was taken to different places where we had very close encounters with wild animals. Like, oh my God, oh my God. And all the time, the messages that came from these like blue-eyed lions, and like I had a 3-minute standoff with a giraffe, not standoff in an aggressive way, but just like face to face. I mean, it just blew me away, because it was all the messages I sort of felt in me was relax,
Yeah.
relax. And I had this conversation with a wilder beast. I named him Zebulon. He was standing, I think it was his last day on Earth, because he looked very tired. I think he didn't have it in him to run anymore. A bit like me, there was no power left. And so I managed to get up and stood next to him. It took me about 20 minutes to go backwards, pretending that I was not going there. And then I ended up standing next to him. I was just with my eyes closed. And suddenly I just had, like, in light blue, it just said, "Forward only love." And I just felt, wow, wow, wow. And to answer your question, at the same time, more or less, AI just jumped into action massively. And suddenly we saw the result. I mean, this is technology that's been around for a long time. We are now being handed over this whole thing to, get rid of our jobs and put us into a no thinking state where everything goes through AI. At the same time, incredible tool if used in the right way. But anyway, very obvious now. Videos cannot be trusted. Audio cannot be trusted. Whatever comes on the screen in front of us cannot be trusted. I could be a clone of myself, or somebody had clone. Do you know, it's like, so from that point on, I just felt I don't want to be part of anything that I don't know is based on truth.
Yeah.
So I stopped I am not following anything. I have no idea about anything what's going on. I don't trust a single thing I see. The only thing I do is focus on my inner balance, do good, be good, and empower people. Anywhere I go. I still do interviews, but only like once a week instead of 3. And it's mostly this type of interviews where I feel that, it's not about, oh, who put the bomb in the bomb, or who did that horrible thing or whatever. It's a matter of, okay, this is the situation. We have absolutely no clue what's going on, except that we're being taken for a ride. So what can we do in the center of the storm? Balance, harmony, love, all of these things, and stop listening to this one. There's a reason why it's called mind control. It's not called heart control. They can't get to your heart. They can destroy your heart, but otherwise than that. So for me, it's like the journey from here to here. They call it the longest journey. And this voice here, it's very silent, but it's there. You just feel it almost more than words. And so it's a matter of silencing this one that can really get you into trouble and is trying to make sense of everything. But if everything is based on lies, then don't listen to it. Don't let this one persuade you into doing something really stupid. That most probably is exactly what the ones that are behind the propaganda we're in the receiving end of wants you to do. So my sweetheart and I have decided to create a sanctuary for light-minded friends up in the mountains, in the jungles of Bali. So that's what I would like to say to people to answer your questions. To answer your question is to relax, calm down, calm down. Just because you see it, just because somebody tells you, or that it comes through a black screen in front of you, most of them called smart screens. Smart, it's the incorrect spelling. It's actually EVIL is the correct spelling of these screens. Who controls the thing that you see on that screen? I ask you, where does it come from? well, Facebook is so violent. Is it really? I don't see anything like that. Oh, the people are just shouting, screaming, all of that on X or whatever. Do they really? I don't see that. It's because we're being fed different things. It's not the same for me. I'm in the end of a different feed. Maybe we are on a similar type of thing because they know how to get to us. Racism doesn't really work, or these or fear, too much fear. No, let's go through the alternative thing. That's how we can get to these individuals and mess them up with some new age stuff, whatever. So it's like, there was this massive big scandal some years ago, what was called Cambridge Britannica or something like that. That was just like, whoa. It was just exposed how they could pinpoint us through these different platforms, like Facebook and Twitter, all of these ones, coordinate all of these databases, and then pinpoint and send information specifically to you, to me, to persuade us the way they wanted, without us understanding what was going on in whatever direction they wanted. And my answer to that is, boom. And if they don't see that, here's another one. You can get all 10 of them if you want, because
I love it.
fuck off and leave us alone. That's my, bless them, fuck off and leave us alone. Because normal people are beautiful people and just need to be left alone with each other. And, but so don't worry, be happy. I'm not saying close your eyes. I'm saying open your eyes, see it for what it is. It is propaganda. Most of it is an illusion. We're being told this life is horrible. It's full of violence, racism, wars, starvation, whatever. Look out through the window. I can almost guarantee you, in whatever country you're in, nature is beautiful. You look out, it's beautiful. Yeah, but right now there are riots in Bali. Really? Where? People are calling me, are you okay? Are you okay? What? There's the riots. I'm looking out. Really? It's like, okay, I don't know it. I've never, other times, how are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, what's going on? There's a eruption, volcano eruption. Where? In Bali. Where? Right where you are. I'm like, no, not really.
I had
But
that exact same thing with a second cousin from Australia, and she was sending me some stuff. She just came to visit. And the stuff that she has been told in Australia from all sorts of media houses that's happening in the UK. And I'm like, no,
and Catherine, this is exactly it. It's always somewhere far away
yes,
from you, and
big,
it's always based on fear. It's always something horrible. Like during the Ebola virus, oh my God, this horrible virus that is patented and owned by CDC, who, by the way, who's the one spreading the numbers. Anyway, so during that whole thing and during the swine flu also, I was very active with doing interviews. So we were being told, if I remember right, that where I was in Spain at the time, was that this Ebola virus this whole horrible epidemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it, erupted in some African country. I think it was Angola, if I remember right.
yeah,
So we were told, oh my God, we're going down. It's again end game. It's so awful. Be fearful. It's coming here, and like that. Okay. So what we did on live radio was call up somebody anonymous in Angola. I think it was, or Uganda, maybe it was. Anyway, so we just found a phone number, called that individual live on radio saying, hello, Mr. Oompa Loompa, Goom, 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 or whatever his name was. Sorry to interrupt you, but can you please tell us how is the situation right now? Because you are right now in the center of this horrendous, life and death story. There must be piles of dead bodies outside your window. And they were like, what? What do you mean? I said, the Ebola virus. And he said, no, 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 that's not here. That's in North Korea. I said, what? So they were being told it's in North Korea. I never called one in North Korea, but I'm sure that they were being told, no, it's in Alaska. In
yeah.
Alaska. So it's always, so the chances of us being able to call someone like me in Bali is not that big, So most of us just say, oh my God, really, really? And then this fear, 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 because it's one thing if it's once, but it's like if you're all the time being hit by these horrendous stories, and as soon as you put on mainstream media and many times in alternative media as well, it's just bad, 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 horror, 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 horror. So I'm back to my famous fingers and I say, I am just not going to listen.
I love it. And there's so many examples through that. I mean, I always find it absolutely hysterical because I get told about by so many different people that are now carnivore that vegans are so abusive and all you see is them screaming all over the internet. And I'm like, I haven't seen any. That's not on my feed, but it's on yours, which has made you go to. So anytime you've taken a life decision based on your perception of another group, be careful because exactly as you said, you're being fed that for a reason because they know that's your weak spot. So
do you know if, sorry to interrupt you, but if you go to CBS YouTube channel and you have all of these news, boom, 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 and then you go down and you start seeing the copyright for different things and who to contact and stuff like that. And then when it comes to video content copyright, there's a company, I think it's called not Verizon, something similar to that. There's no link, but you have to, so you have to look for it. You go there to that website, it's automated AI generated news feeds. That's CBS News coming where the copyright is owned by a company like that. And so it's like that starts, you have to start seeing, whoa, 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 wait a second. That means that I can't really trust that. I would say that if you have sort of like a normally active brain, you would think, wait a second. If it's generated like that, automatic even, maybe I should just take a step back and not listen to them anymore. And then you start seeing the others are very similar also, because with the same ownership, the same structure, this is where we come back to the power structure behind what's going on. And in the top, very, very few owners and controllers of media. In the US, I think it's 96% or more is owned by 6 owners. Mm-hmm. And that's book publishing companies, that's like magazines, that's radio stations, that TV station, all of it owned by 6 people. That is what you can have for a dinner party at home. That is a bit sort of unnerving, especially if you feel that, well, he's not really a Buddha type now, is he? Like, I don't get these Gandhi vibes when he starts talking or when they have board meetings. It's more like mob feelings, you know. Yeah, nicely dressed, but otherwise than that, look at his eyes. Holy crap. So you put 6 of those together, add a few Bill Gates and these type of individuals, time to worry. Or I would say time to stop taking the bullshit and let it in and affect you. Just step back and say, you know, like, who was it? Saint Francis of he's what is it? This beautiful prayer. Please, Lord, let me know. Give me the power to see what is true and what is not, and the wisdom to tell the difference. You know, and here we are exactly like that. We're being bombarded more than ever. So it's really a matter of like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I would say, once again, to answer your question, if it's fear-based, let it go in there and let it leave you. If it's not fear-based and it can really empower you, then go forth, you know, and see if this is something that can be of help and sort of if I can assist anyone else with this information, because we live in an inverted reality. They managed to turn it upside down. So whatever you're being told through these channels are bad for you, please look into it. And if it's told that this is really good for you, once again, look into it, but do not let it enter into your body before checking. Yeah. Because all of these things that are being promoted, it's just like monster things. I mean, it's out of Frankenstein monster movies like that. You can't even make it up. Yeah. So I always think it's wonderful. Everything they ban, they try to ban, I really look into it and I thank them for it. That's very kind. I had no idea that cinnamon could do all of these amazing things that you're now trying to ban. It's upside down.
What they're trying to sell you is made in a lab then that's a warning sign in itself. You've raised so many great points there, and there's one of the things I wanted to ask your opinion. You are the experts on false flags, and a lot of the things that we are being really fed the fear of, wars in different zones, geoengineering, weather manipulation, killing loads of children in America, and God knows all. I mean, we've had so many examples of that, from Hawaii to the recent ones in Texas. In one respect, it's like forewarned is forearmed. So when you know some of their dastardly plans, you can make, as a family, better decisions to safeguard yourself. But on the other respect, I do wonder what your opinion is, that if we stopped reacting to these atrocities, would they stop having to do those sort of false flags?
You tell me.
Mm.
But I think it's always like that. If you have a bully in a schoolyard, as long as people are afraid of this individual, it works.
Yeah.
And the day that somebody just says, it's not on anymore, well, then I'll beat the shit out of you. Well, you do that, I'm still not bending over. I'm not taking this anymore. I've had it. Then when that spell is broken, that individual just, I thought it was really amazing. I helped some people. I smuggled some people out of Iran during the war, and they came and
Yeah.
they came to Sweden. These were people that were used to incoming fire into Tehran. They were used to bomb explodings and stuff like that. Okay, so they lived in a refugee camp in a suburb of a little small town where I lived. I brought them there. So anyway, so there was this bully that was walking around harassing people, and Swedes are lame. Sorry, Swedes. I love Sweden. Lame, and cowards, looking from behind curtains and like, ooh, like this. So this dude was walking around with an air gun, terrorizing that place. So my Iranian friends, they just walked out, took the gun away from him, sat him down on the ground, put one of them on top of him, said, calm down, behave. And then they became friends, and he started behaving. Do you know, it's like, for them, it was like a joke. Just stop the guy. I mean, but the terror, when you hear of serial killers, the Manhattan Strangler or the whatever, it's one individual, one ski mask, one knife terrorizing, for instance, New York.
Yeah.
Millions of people in terror and fear. How ridiculous is that?
Yeah.
But this is the same balance when you look at what media is doing. We are being pumped fear. And when you look at it, this is why I went to many locations where so-called terror attacks had happened. I have really dedicated my life and put my life on the line multiple times to go on location and see for myself. Is the official narrative true? Or is it not? Because if it's not, then all of the solutions we're being fed from this problem is wrong, and most probably carried out by the same people that in that case maybe even arranged for that problem to occur. And I say, Catherine, I've been to hundreds. I mean, I've looked into, like you said, some people see me as a world-leading expert. So how much do I know about terrorists? How much do I know about Al-Qaeda, ISIS? I know more or less zero. More or less zero. I have looked very deep into these operations. How much do I know about NATO, Gladio operations, strategy of tension, random acts of violence against civilian populations? I am loaded with information. Loaded. How is that possible if the official narrative is true? Because it's not.
Mm-hmm.
There's not one true word. And it's when you go on location and you start looking and you start understanding the modus operandi, that's when you start, oh my God, we're back to the Wizard of Oz. Suddenly you pull the curtain and you see for the real truth. You don't just listen to the propaganda machine. You look at a spineless old in dude, which they're more or less all of them, some of them in a female body, but same kind of characteristics, horrendous. There's not one cell or quality in them, if you ask me. They're real trash. And but what can I say? Most of them psychopaths broken into that system or born psychos. So what can you do? You can love them and fuck off and put them on somewhere where they can play war with each other. But when they really hurt us and hurt children and hurt, it's not on. It needs to stop, and it takes courage. Once again, back to the bully in the schoolyard. Somebody has to stand up. Do you know, like many years ago, I was a bit bullied, not a lot, but I was a bit bullied when I was a child. So I knew what it was to be in the receiving end. Okay, so when I was about 18, I was out we were out partying. It was a Saturday evening, and there was this dude in this little city town where even the police feared him. He broke the arm of a police officer. He was a nice guy when he was sober. He was an absolute asshole when he was drunk, violent asshole. So this guy came and approached the two of us, my friend and I let my friend down. I left because I was afraid. Thank God he did not get hurt. It didn't end up in a bad way. Not because of me. I chickened out big time. I was so ashamed. I felt so awful that I made myself a promise that this is not happening again. This is not happening again. I will not be a coward, even though I do you know, like they say, somebody is brave. What does that mean, to have courage? It's, if you're not scared, you don't need courage, you just do. If you are really scared and you still do, that's courage. That's courage. So I have tried my best to be a courageous person since then, so yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting. There's so many things there that make so much sense. I think the question that people are there's a lot of people that are a lot newer into their journey of discovery than you've been doing this for so many years. And the question I get over and over again is, but why? Why would they want to do this to us?
Somebody with bulimia, why do they keep eating?
Yeah.
Why does somebody keep drinking when they know it's going to kill them?
Mm.
It's that mindset. Why does a cancer cell try to do everything it can, if cancer is what we're being told officially? Why does a cancer cell do everything it can to kill the carrier, thus killing itself? You tell me. It's absolute madness. But it is the mindset of these individuals. I've had I do not want to say pleasure, the experience of meeting some of these individuals in the form of assassins, but also power-hungry individuals that are really caught up into that. And when you look in the eyes of these individuals, I don't see happiness.
No.
I see fear. I see an empty hole that will never be full. I see a constant need to feed this greed and paranoia, who's going to be better, who's going to, because they're sharks and they're swimming in shark waters. I don't envy them, but at the same time, they're the ones doing it to us. And as long as we let them do it, then we have to blame ourselves. But the thing is, there is this beautiful word called no. It's a magical word, actually, because if somebody says, do that, and you know in your heart that it's wrong, if you say no, it's completely non-violent. It's just like, that is not going to happen. Well, in that case, it's still not going to happen. I am not going to go against my heart. I know it's wrong, so I'm not doing it. Well, in that case, you will be punished. Well, punish me along. I'm still not doing it. And then in the end, it comes to, in that case, You will be killed. It comes to a point where you have to look yourself in the face. I'm not saying you have to be super extreme, but in another way you have, because you are the one who have to live with you. And if it's in a situation where it really matters and you fail, who is the one feeling awful afterwards? You are. Why are all of these soldiers committing suicides? Because they've done things where they were too weak to say no. They were given an order, shoot that child. Yeah, but do it. Boom. Well, you got an order. It was you or I who pulled the trigger. I have to live with that. They have to live with that thing that soiled their soul.
Yeah.
The officer couldn't care less. The commander, the high commander, let's not even go there. I mean, do they care? They send out people into all of these countries for freedom and democracy. Yeah, right. That is a good one. Monty Python world. Anyway, they do all of these horrendous atrocities to innocent people in innocent countries, that the only thing that they've ever done wrong is to have oil and diamonds and poppy fields or whatever, or children that can be trafficked. That's organ trafficking. That's the only thing they've done, or had the country in a strategic position. That's the only thing they've ever, and they haven't even done it. That's what is causing the pain to them. But the ones doing it to them have to live with it.
I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't agree more. And, I love the example that you said about what you were 18, because that does take real courage. We have to look at ourselves and we have to be honest with ourselves, and then take course correct when we recognize that something, is not how we want to be living our lives. And that's part of being an adult, isn't it? Learning from those lessons and course correcting. Hi everyone, it's Catherine here, and before I dive into today's episode, I want to really quickly share something that's so important to me. I love hosting this podcast because it allows us all to explore those big questions, challenge our programming, and uncover the natural truths that truly empower us. But did you know my real passion's working one-on-one with animals and people, helping you or your animal cut through the noise, find the root cause of imbalances, stress, illnesses, or really just create a personalized plan that actually works for you. So whether you're here for your own healing or you're a dedicated animal guardian, wanting the very best for your dog, cat, horse, any four-legged or scaled or winged companion, I'm here for you both. I work with animals and humans, but I especially love helping the animals thrive. That is my real happy place. So my recharge and reset consultations and online courses are packed with practical tools, printable resources, lifelong access, and the main thing is you'll never feel alone on this journey. And they work. Just head over to my website and check out the testimonials. So if you're really ready to take action and not just listen, head over to CatherineEdwards.life, that's Catherine with the C and .life at the end, and explore my courses and consults. Or if you want to, book a free 15-minute chat to see if I can help, because it's really important we stop outsourcing our health, really look after our animal companions better than before, and start leading by example. Now back to the podcast. Thank you.
I don't know. I'm still learning. I'm still a work in progress. I just try to do my best. So, but it's like some people have said, you are a good leader. I would say absolutely not. I mean, I can't even get people to agree on what pizza to order. I am never the one walking in the front. I'm always walking somewhere in the back, but that's a little bit like a shepherd also, to keep track of, but what I can do is I can try and live my life in a way that might inspire other people to live their life to the fullest, their path, not my path, their path. We all have different paths and roles to play. It's just a matter of having the courage to follow your way, just like I try to follow my way, the best way. And I tell you, the shortest way from here to here in life is not like that. It's like this. It comes with all kinds of like that. So don't think that it's going to be done in one day. The one that get like an overnight sensation, they go like this and then they burn out very quickly. Then you have individuals like me who is like this forever, and forever, slowly, 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 slowly. And now I'm actually at a point where things starts coming to fruition. I'm like, whoa, never seen that one before, but amazing. It just took most of my life.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I think in terms of, you mentioned earlier on, Ole, about how you're sort of disconnecting yourself from all sorts of information, from most information. Are there any sources or people that you are still keeping an eye on to see what's going on?
I never followed anyone. I don't listen to anyone. I do listen. I do. That's not true. I have a spiritual teacher. I'm not religious, but I got an incredible spiritual teacher. Her name is Nelani Chelaram. Nelani Harilera Chelaram, an Indian. My sweetheart Kim and I have been learning from her for the last 20 years, and we count our lives from before and after meeting Nelani. It's I've never ever met an individual like that who wants nothing from you and who lives by example. She is a hardcore, amazing, amazing individual, human being that meets any kind of challenge with a smile. And I mean, she's just, it's, I'm in awe of her. And we've just had a retreat here in Bali. The Kim and one of her friends arranged that, like spending 5 days with Nelani. Oh my God. Oh my God. What a treat. And so I listened to her. I listened to bearded guys who have been sitting in caves for like 50 years and experimenting with their mind. These type of individuals I see if I can learn from. I mean, with Nelanie, I've never been part of an organization or a political party or group or anything. Nelanie, when I met her, boom, I got hooked because there were no hooks.
Yeah.
There was she didn't want anything. She just wanted me to be the best me. And it was actually through her, she forced me to speak in front of people because I was terrified, terrified. I mean, shaking, crying, and I managed to pass that. And it just completely changed my life. I mean, I avoided funerals, I avoided birthdays, just the thought of somebody would, if they asked me to say something, I was like, oh my God, I would rather die. So, but anyway, yeah. So Nelanie, I listen to because, yeah. And I try to listen to my heart, to stop with the nonsense, use this for what it's meant to do, but this is the one that counts. And I know what is right and wrong. Like just a few days ago, we live in a Balinese area. It used to be a red light district. It's a bit worn down. But we have this place that is beautiful, like a little oasis in the middle of it. And there's a wall around it. And my daughter had been hearing that there was some kind of animal on the outside, the animal sound. And so when I came home, she said, Dad, can you just come with me? And so we went out there. I didn't know what kind of animal it was, but it sounded like strange, but somebody in need. So she had brought a machete. It's a jungle area. So I started chopping my way in through that whole thing. And she was like, don't go bare feet, don't go. But the thing is, I like to be in contact with life. So it's like, I'm not stupid. I don't think so. Well, ask Kim, she will maybe say something else. But I try to be like sort of streetwise. But at the same time, I am bare feet, foot. I am going in there bare feet, just not stepping on scorpions or snakes, hopefully. Anyway, otherwise than that, we found a kitten. There was a little kitten that had been dumped. I mean, it was tiny. It's tiny, tiny. I think maybe just a few days old. And it was black. And I think here they're very superstitious. And black cats have a bad rep, that some people think that they're evil spirits in them. So I think I'm speculating. Maybe somebody said, for the sake of my family, I would put you little I believe in reincarnation, so I'll just put you there, and hopefully somebody would come and eat you fast, so you don't have to suffer. Anyway, we got this little thing out, and people in this house had said, absolutely not. You cannot take an animal in here. And in my world, yeah, that is so gonna happen. I am not going to leave this one out there. It's coming in. So very peaceful, little discussion, or not discussion at all. I just waited for the automatic no to go over, and then it's happening. Bring in the little one, and now everybody loves him. And it's going to affect so many people in a beautiful way. It's a stunning little, tiny, tiny, tiny individual that has entered into our lives. So the thing is, when life calls you in the form of whatever it is, whatever it is it right or wrong? Would it have been easier for me not to go and pick it up? Yeah, because now we suddenly have another one to take care. Do you know, it's like it's a whole lifelong commitment. Would it be easier not to listen? Yeah. Would it be a lot easier to just let it get eaten or whatever? Yeah. Is it the right thing to do? No. So ask your heart. The heart says, boom, go. That's how I try to live my life. And then things happen and all kinds of nonsense happen. I get confused by my brain. I go into defense mode. I feel attacked. All of it. Get out of the nonsense, back on track, let it go, let it go. It's ridiculous to even take it personally. And then get on with it and try to stay as focused and in balance and pure as possible.
I absolutely love it. And I've got 5 black cats and they all fight. So you mentioned earlier, and I think this is such an important point to help anyone that's listening this, about the messages, some of the messages that you got when you were in nature. You're always in nature, but your special trip that you had to South Africa. And I think sometimes as humans, we look for the complicated solutions when actually the real solutions that help us the most, I get told all the time, Ole, oh, you shouldn't have so many animals, there's such a tie, but they give me so much and help me make much better decisions in all aspects of life. So this connection to nature, which leads us on to your new project that I really want to ask you about, how important is for people, because many people say, yeah, I know that, I know I should ground, I know I should connect with nature, I know I should consider other things rather than humanity, but they don't actually go out and do it.
But I don't know what's right or wrong for other people. I just know I like walking bare feet. That's just it. I mean, I climbed mountains bare feet. Is it clever? I don't think so. Did I get hurt? Yeah. But it just felt good, So I don't know. People say stuff and it's good to be grounded and it gives you like different frequencies. I have absolutely no idea. I just know I'm walking bare feet. Boom, that's it. Get on with it. Because I choose to do it. So I can't advise anyone else on this thing with animals. I mean, some people hate animals. Fine, it's not their path. You love animals and it gives you something. I do too. So it's just my path is to take care of that one. Somebody else's path was to drop it out there. So I can't judge that person. Maybe they're trying to protect their family from bad spirits. So who am I to blame? It's just the way I see it. I don't think there is a bad spirit in that tiny little kitten. So, and even if there is, I will bring it in and hopefully thank the spirit so that it will leave. Here in Bali, it's really interesting because the dark and the light is very present here, and all the temples, they're not religious, but they live in a stunning way. I get so inspired. The beauty of the way they connect with life here, it's just beyond. And here they have all of these temples everywhere, 2 in every garden more or less, and then many big temples as well where they do blessings, flower blessings and incense all the time, twice a day, all the time, everywhere. And so what they do also with these temples, they've got like really monster type figures outside the temples to keep the bad spirits out. And there's like a doorway. And then the thing is that they do a deal with the bad spirits saying, listen, we really appreciate you for being part of duality, plus and minus, both are needed to have, so that we can have this incredible opportunity of either becoming a serial killer or a saint. It's up to us. But it's in this duality that we can't have the choice. So anyway, so they say, if you are kind enough to stay outside, we will feed you, we will thank you, and so on. And please leave us alone. We will be on this side and our family's health and everything will be on this side. And thus, they try to make peace with the dark side instead of fighting it and keep it in balance. I think that is really beautiful.
So what do they feed them with?
They put like flower offerings and stuff there as well. I'm not completely sure. So, but on these, when they do the blessings, they're often like cigarettes and biscuits and other stuff like that as well. The ones that eat them are the dogs and the birds. But anyway, so at least it seems to be working.
Boat pinned out there.
But Catherine, do you know another thing I love with this island? They got like once a year, they got what is called Oga Oga. And then they got what is called Nyepi. And at the Ugo, yeah, I think it's called Ugo. They have one day when for months, they've been building these incredible sculptures, horrendous monsters, like big, massively big, where like there's 20, 30 people carrying them. And it's like monster women that are eating babies and blood stuff. It's horrendous. Anyway, so there's a lot of banging going on and all kinds of stuff and thousands of people in the street. What they're trying to do is get the evil spirits into these sculptures, and what they do then is bash them and burn them. And then at the end of that day, it's a lot of noise. They go in the crossroads and bah, 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 with the pans and pots and all kinds of stuff. Horrendous noise, like this. And then it comes to midnight when they've taken away all the monsters. And then suddenly there's 24 hours of absolute silence. The airport is closed. No TV, no radio. You're not allowed to go outside. You cannot put the lights on. You're not allowed to cook. You're not allowed to make any noise. And the whole idea is that the bad spirits, when the sun goes up, it's absolutely quiet and empty. There's no people left. And so the bad spirits go, oh my God, they've left. That's no fun. Let's go to the next island. And so the way they see it is that bad spirits leave. And then after 24 hours of absolute silence, boom, we're back. The airports open up and stuff. Nyepi, it's called. And that day, it's very interesting. I mean, the energy is just so peaceful. No dogs, no rooster, no nothing. It's just.
So that was exactly where my memory went. It's be like one of the dogs would bark or something.
Nope.
But they don't.
Not that I know. And then they got like temple guards that are walking the streets because sometimes, like stupid tourists, drunk Russians or something like that don't really respect it. They got out in the street and the way they see it is that they risk all of us, to keep them there. So it's like, get indoors. And last year, I had a water leakage on that specific day. So I had to get up on the roof and the neighbor was just like, get down, get down. Oh, timing, not good timing.
Typical. So tell us about your new venture and why this is so important to you. Well, I know this has been a calling of yours for a while, but why now? Why here?
Okay, so about 25 years ago, my beautiful sweetheart Kim, who's been on your show, and we started having this dream about creating not a community, not a gated anything, not a village, not a like ashram or anything that has to do with meetings and people starting arguing, and not at all. I've seen it go like this and boom, so many times. Alpha egos takes over and it's just no arguing, absolutely not. So what we have been thinking about is to make like what we call a neighborhood, like a sanctuary of light-minded people, light-minded friends, not like-minded, light-minded friends. Small egos under control, massive big hearts. Very important. And with a mindset of giving back and just in balance with the locals and with nature, with each other, and with animals. It really has to be this thing. I've never seen it succeed. That just because it's difficult doesn't mean that it's impossible. So anyway, so we were thinking like we want to get off into the back to nature, but we don't want to be alone, so to have an area where it's like a neighborhood. So instead of me having to like travel 3,000 miles to come and have a coffee with you, you would be just like walking distance. I'll just pop over and have a coffee with, or maybe a tea with Catherine. I'll be back in an hour or two. How cool is that? And so we've had this thing where the idea has been anything from us living on our own up to 22 villas and all of that. But we're not builders. I hate being in construction or organizing anything like that. So over the years, we've been trying in different locations here, and we even made drawings of our house the way we wanted it, but I could never fit in the walls. Everything, but I couldn't fit the wall. And then when we came to Bali, there's so many places with no walls at all. So I thought, oh my God, we're here, and nature. So for the first time, this feels right. And we were thinking about it, and then COVID, or the whole operation started here with lockdowns and stuff. So we thought, oh God, this is, it can flip so easy, so fast, and to involve other people. So anyway, so that we passed that one, and then suddenly here, just like 3-4 months ago, we would, through a friend of ours who knows a Balinese healer who he's an addict when it comes to owning land. He wants to own land so that he can plant trees and make sure that the monkeys and the birds are fine, and keep it, so that Bali doesn't get raped and swallowed up by the rest of us. So we met up with this man, and we went around on a scooter. We told him about our dream. He said, I might have a place for you. And so we looked at many, and in the end, we found this place. And here in Bali, it's like, as soon as there's a beautiful view and rice fields and stuff like that, the risk is that within 2-3 years, boom, 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 you get a Hyatt hotel right in front of you, or any. So early on, we felt, whoa, we need to make sure that we suddenly don't have a Russian nightclub next door. We've seen some of our friends, because this island is not that big, and the whole world wants to come here, especially after COVID. So this place is on the side of a mountain. It's steep. I'm telling you, it's steep. And we went there. He showed us with machete. I mean, it was like Harrison Ford in that whole thing. And they were even cutting out steps in the side of the mountain so that we wouldn't fall down. Kim almost fell down. That would have been a moment not good, but our friend managed to grab her before she went down. But anyway, so not easy to get there, but at the same time, it also protects the view, and that nobody else can get there. And this view, Catherine, the view, oh my God, it's just absolutely mind-blowingly beautiful. And it's up on a mountainside, and then there's a valley down below, and we can see the sea in the distance, and there's 3 volcanoes to the right. It's just, and then the feeling when you're there, I mean, I'm not well, at least I say I don't feel energies, but I think I do.
Yeah.
Because when I'm there, yeah, I just feel, wow, wow, wow. And so we found and decided on that plot, and we put down a down payment for it. Here you cannot, you can, but it's very hard to buy freehold. So what you do is it's leasehold, but it can be like for 50 years. Because the Balinese say that the land belongs to the Balinese. I can completely respect that. And also the way they see it with reincarnation, they say, yeah, 70 years, not a problem. I'll just die and come back, and I will still be the owner of the land. So they don't mind. And so we decided, and thank God, we have a friend here, an American woman who's been living here for some 40 years, and she's an Indonesian citizen. She was married to a Javanese man, and she's a super entrepreneur and very switched on. She was one of the people that knew about me when we came to Bali and got in touch and opened up Bali for us, that put out the red carpet, like we were welcomed, like incredible. And so she has always wanted to do a thing like that, but never wanted to do it on her own.
Yeah.
We always wanted to do this, but not alone. And she has all the knowledge and the experience of 40 years of all of these difficulties and traps and different cultures and language problems and what. So the combo is made in heaven. So this is why suddenly it just was green light, green light, green light, green light, and everything. So it's moving forward very fast. And but now, just to get there, now I mean, poor individuals that are very happy to get a pay, are doing it for us. But it's very much way back to basic, like with wheelbarrows and shovels and hatches. But also we had like an excavator, one of these diggers, a small one. And I mean, he was going on steep sides,
It's
like,
terrifying to me, that.
whoa, whoa, whoa. And like the first driver, he said, no, I can't do it. So our Balinese friend got hold of another guy and paid him some extra cigarettes or whatever. So he was like, rub, rub, rub. And this is the thing with Bali. We were being told it's 3 days with the excavator. Like 15 days later, he was still digging. So it's like, and now we don't have water. So suddenly, for the road work, you need water for the cement and stuff. I mean, who would have even thought of it? I'm really starting looking at roads like, my God, they've really done a lot of work into this. Things we would just like passed before. Now it's like a whole science. Anyway, so we have this plot. We call it Selalu. Selalu means always in Balinese. And it's a sanctuary for light-minded friends. Selalu, always. And I hope the video is here. If you want to share it, please. And the idea is that this Balinese friend of ours, he has not only the plots that he's sold to us, but also on the sides of the other mountains. So we have this possibility in this valley to create exactly like that, but with the idea that everybody have their own privacy, everybody do their own building, there's no meetings,
Yeah.
but there's a very hard control to enter. You have to be on the same heart frequency as we, otherwise, because this is for the rest of our lives, this place. So I want that the people that are there, that when we meet today or in a year's time, our faces will light up and just like, whoa, Catherine is coming for a coffee, she's using the slip line, whoa, instead of like, oh God, Catherine, what because that is completely the wrong feeling. So we want to be very, very aware of who we let in.
I agree.
It's just because you got money, sorry, that is not the entrance ticket. That has nothing to do with it. Because of course it comes with a cost, because the land will be bought by the Balinese. Not of him. He's the seller, but we have a plot. It's like 1.3 hectares, so it's quite big. But at the same time, it's like super steep, so we have to like make terraces like this, and so that the cost of making the road will be split among the people who's going to live there. Also, to get electricity down, we need like telephone poles, electric poles, and also the water thing. Also, that has to be split among the people who enter. But it is a matter of being in complete balance with the village, because we are not in the middle of a jungle. There's a road like a kilometer up on the mountainside, a beautiful road, but there's at least an hour to anything Western. There's the Balinese villages, there's Balinese houses, Balinese coffee farmers, and so on. But if you want nightclubs or bars or that whole thing, or a Western supermarket, sorry, it's not for you. And also, just the weather just makes it not for everyone, because like July, August, this is like a nice summer in Europe, and then it starts getting hot. In
Yeah.
the rainy season from November to like March, April, it can get really hot and humid. So that can really get to your mind if you're not in balance.
Mm.
But that is also why we're up on a mountainside. So, so it gets a bit cooler.
Yeah.
So it's for people who can live with themselves without getting frustrated, but can enjoy it and live in nature and in harmony with other people. We're not into conflicts. We're not into arguments like that. Of course, things can happen, but the basic mindset is like a yogic mindset, the Raj Yoga mindset, so, and so this is happening. We're like, whoa, 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 what just happened? Are we really doing it? And our neighbor also, her name is Tori, beautiful, this neighbor here, and she's bought a big plot also, but for her and her children and so on. And it's just moving like, whoa, because it's meant to be. The time is right. So
People get involved if they were interested in finding out more. I'm going to finish off this video by playing your video, which will show people more. But how would you like people to get in contact with you?
it's very kind of you to show the video. It's our daughter who has done the video editing, and the voice over. So if you like that, she really needs work. It's immigration here does not allow us to work. That's another one to be aware of. You cannot work here. You have to be online. So
Yeah.
if you like her editing, please keep her in mind. But otherwise than that, it's uh, there's my website is lightonconspiracies plural.com, and there's this specific page called Selalu, and there's the video, but also possibilities to support this project if you want. It is so appreciated, I tell you. But it's anything from gravel to we're always trying to find alternative ways that will not harm Mother Bali, and that would be as soft and but it's going to be stunningly beautiful. So any help with anything like that, there are different ways of donating to the thing. Or if you are interested enough to see yourself here, then please contact us, like info@lightonconspiracies.com or kim@lightonconspiracies.com. We're doing so-called sofa talks. We did about 200 of those during lockdown. Now we started up again, and we're doing sort of the 2.0 Bali version. And in that, you can just follow the development like week by week,
Brilliant.
where we show what's going on, and where the money also, that if you decide to support by donating, I guarantee you, I hand cross whatever, that it will go straight into the project. And also, Selalu is very aware of giving back. So it's very, very important for us to give back all the time to the local population, to the beautiful people of Bali, unbelievable, and to the community, to the villages with work and so I asked our Balinese friend up there, because I felt like here we come and just like start boom, 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 boom on a mountainside. What are they going to think? I don't want to be like an intruder. And I said, so do you feel, are we welcome? He said, 1000% welcome, because also we're the ones now bringing electricity into the area, bringing water that we will then, of course, share with the locals. And
Yeah.
we're also going to have food, what do you call it, like a food, growing food and fruit. But hopefully, if we're successful, it will be plenty, and then we will share with the locals also. And yeah, it's
Amazing. I can't wait to come and visit. I
yay. No, so it's like, because maybe you want to be part of it, and there's this possibility, of course, to maybe you don't have to live here full time, but to have like a place there that you can come and go, and also as a bug out possibility if things go wrong, because I don't know if you've checked out Europe lately, but it's sort of like not the most positive development right now. So as a possible investment in the future, could be good to just say, listen, I'm out of here, whoop, and then have something ready to welcome you.
Mm.
Or if you want to come here full time. So we have, I think we got 4 possibilities on our plot for other people to enter. We're going to be very, very aware of our plot of paradise, but there are all of these other places that on the side of the mountain that where it can just become like a place, where you just feel like a big hug, and that's the idea. Whoever you see there's like, yay, yay, whoa, and then keep it like that, because this is what the Balinese do as well. Every single day, the prayers, all of these things to lift you, lift you, lift you, keep your soul high and your heart open, and all of these things like that, and then meet life like that, and then that makes a beautiful harmony and life.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. I have enjoyed this discussion so much, Ole. I think it's such a great indication of where we're all going, and the shift in energy and the shift in focus and on what really matters. So I really, really appreciate that. Anything else you want to leave people with?
I want to say, stop whining, start shining. Don't worry, be happy, be bold, empower your no so that your yes can be pure as well. Be brave, be brave, be brave. In your what is needed to be done in whatever situation it is. And then also I have this prayer that I got from Melanie many years ago. It goes like this: may the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May everyone, and especially the ones who hurt you, especially the ones who hurt you, be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May the light of truth overcome all darkness, so victory to that light. Like I said, I'm not religious, but the thing is, these assholes and super psychos that are messing with us, apparently we need them, because without them, we would still we wouldn't react, we wouldn't evolve, because we're too lazy to do it without some fire under our butt. So we indirectly have to thank them for being so awful that even we start saying, oh my God, this doesn't make any sense. There must be some other way than dear Mr. Klaus Schwab with a German accent. I mean, how obvious can they make it so that we so it's like it's Monty Python. So get your thumb out of your butt, get off the sofa, and do your thing, whatever that is. Whatever gives you goosebumps is the road to go. Whatever that is, if it's make the best cookies, or be a whatever carpenter, or helping disabled children or stupid individuals like myself, whatever it is, whatever gives you goosebumps, that's the road to go. Is it going to be easy? I guarantee you not. It's not going to be easy at all, because then you would be bored to tears. But it will be your way, your way, your way. Your heart will tell you, and your feelings will show you. The feelings are like a GPS. So you follow the goosebumps. There will be obstacles. These are just there to say, are you sure, Catherine? Are you sure that this is the way you want to go? So the obstacles will come through people that are close to you. They will say, you are mad. No, that's wrong. What has happened to you? Are you part of a sect? You must be insane. There's no money in this. That will come automatic. It's part of the software. Bum, 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 bum. And then you say, but I am sure I want to go this way. And then you continue. So that's the way to go. And then the way to check yourself if you're on track is your feelings. If you go into so-called negative feelings like anger, despair, frustration, that shows you, listen, Catherine, listen, Ole, you are off track. You're off track. It's gently saying, get back, get back, get back, get back. Then you start feeling empowered, and boom, you're on track. the goosebumps come back. Thank you so much. You follow the positive feelings. I'm not talking about pretending. I'm talking when you feel empowered, when you feel inspired, in spiritus, when body and mind aligns, spirit enters. And I'm showing you the way. Boom. That's the way. So use the negative feeling. Boom, 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 boom. Yep, I'm on the track, but I don't know where I'm going. No, that's the whole point. To find out the meaning of life, you have to go and find the meaning of life. There's no manual. They did that deliberately. They just rebooted your brain, oh God, and took away the manual from you and then put you off your feet and off you go. Welcome to this world of confusion. So stop whining, start shining, and that's about it.
I love it. Thank you so much. Everyone stay on and watch the lovely video that we're playing out with. And thank you so much, Ole. Can't wait to do this again. Take care.
My absolute pleasure. Bye. And come and join us, Catherine.
I know. I am.
You will be a perfect candidate, I'll tell you.
I would love it. I have to have one. So I'm not sure how they'd make it. Mind you, Charlie's from the Shetland Isles, which is like this, so he might manage. So, yeah. Take care, everyone. Bye.
It's like a ghost town here. I'm just sitting, waiting by the gate, saying goodbye to Spain for I don't know how long.
While the world locked down, they opened up a whole new way of living. Kim and Ole, a Scandinavian couple who left Sweden behind in year 2000 for Spain. They raised their family under the sun, and when the world flipped during the so-called pandemic, they followed their hearts and intuition, left everything behind, and headed for faraway Bali, Indonesia. Not just to escape, but to create something new. Kim is an artist, author, a crypto lover, and founder of AwakenUnite.com. She is also the CFO of LightonConspiracies.com. She blends ancient wisdoms with modern fire, choosing Ayurvedic healing over big pharma, nature and animals over cities, and raw honesty over playing nice. Ole is a world-renowned truth seeker, an international speaker, the author of many books, and founder of LightonConspiracies.com. For over 40 years, he's investigated what most people avoid: top political assassinations, false flags, and dark, hidden agendas. And through it all, he's stayed calm, kind, and deeply human. Together, they're building Selalu, a sanctuary of light-minded friends, a space for conscious living, honest conversation, and good people doing good things. Come experience Sova Talks, where nothing's off limits. You'll be able to follow every step of the way in the creation of Selalu. In addition, Kim and Ole will unpack what's really going on in this upside-down world. They'll dive into crypto, holistic health, sovereignty, freedom, and the power of choosing differently. They'll also talk conspiracies, the kind that makes the news nervous. This is for the ones who ask questions, who care about truth, freedom, creativity, health, and what's real, who are done with fear and ready to live aware, awake, and aligned. Inside the membership, you'll get behind-the-scenes videos, real-time updates from the building of Selalu, unfiltered conversations, and a seat at the table as Kim and Ole co-create what comes next. Curious? Good. That's where all the best stories begin. Follow the journey, join the membership, and become part of something that matters, because the world doesn't need more madness. It needs more Selalu.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. And if you feel inspired, please do share with your friends and family. This helps us spread the word and also helps me encourage some exciting new guests to take part in this podcast. And above all, stay curious and stay free.